you cannot estimate, you cannot know what your costs are going to be and how long it's going to take.
Well, I estimated once with John, who was formerly the president of the board, certain things, okay, with the clubhouse, etc. And John had a list, okay, that I sent him about monetizing what it might be worth. I don't know if I was half right, I was not right at all, okay, but there were ways that you could monetize the clubhouse based on money.
I don't know what the term
How
means.
much would we collect if we win the lawsuit? So now let's say we have
What do we win? The clubhouse.
What about all the money he collected? What do we get from it?
That's part of the lawsuit. But
How much are we asking for?
we're not getting into that. I told you, there's nothing, we're not discussing the lawsuit stuff.
I'm saying, if you know that number, I think that number should be public. If you know that number should be public.
We don't know the numbers.
We don't know it until we see the books, because we can't say every penny we paid him was illegal, because he had expenses, so some of the money he took in.
Never know.
Right, so we don't know what that number is until we see the books.
It's something to think about. I think the finance committee should take a shot.
Thank you.
Right now, the lawsuit is in discovery stage. We may find out what you're asking.
You want to come down and ask a question? Can't hear you from there.
That's it. That's Sandy. May I be recognized?
Yeah, okay, Jerry, go ahead.
Okay. Two things. Number one, I apologize I got here late. If you mentioned anything about the sewage treatment plant in the first half hour, I'll wait till you come out with your statement and I'll see my answer. I just want to know what the status of it is regarding the legislature.
Okay.
But okay, we'll let that go. What's happening with Verizon, if anything? Is there a schedule, or are they going to solicit us, or what?
Now, Verizon is a very interesting story, because they finally finished laying the wire this week. My cul-de-sac was the last cul-de-sac done. They were there for a week. 5 people there for a week, which I cannot understand. What took them so long, because everything is there when it was stuff up. So we don't know what's going on. We think there's a strike and a slowdown at Verizon, which is another problem. But the problem is that the people at one end of Verizon have not a clue what the marketing people are doing, not the construction people are doing, the business people are doing. So what they want right now is they want us, which we're supposed to do in the contract, go around and put on everybody's door a flyer about Verizon. So I said, that's very good, but 40% of our people right now are in Florida, or thereabouts. I said, who's going the next day to take them off the doors when nobody brings them in? I'm not going to do it. You're sending somebody else to do it. We're not paying for that. Well, you have to. Well, we don't have to, because you have to make a decision that there's no one here. Why would you want to sell now? But the few people that want to call you, they will call you. So that's one problem. They wanted to put up their tent. I said, why are you putting up a tent in our parking area on December 1st? There's no heat. It's freezing. Who's coming to sit in here and talk to you? And who are you going to have working that are going to freeze to death? So they decided not to put that on to April 1st.
Okay.
So that's where we are. And Frank is worried about it every day, so we'll find out more about it.
I'd like to say something about that. I'm not telling you what you should do, keep Cablevision or Fios. I don't have a dog in the fight. However, what I did was at Cablevision, and I paid $210 a month. I called up Cablevision, and I got a secretary and asked for a supervisor. I got a supervisor, and I told them Fios is coming in, and I paid $210. The day of honor of this was, they gave me over to the retention committee. They knocked $30 off. They gave me Showtime and a new router, and I'm very satisfied with that.
Who's next?
I got a question.
That gentleman has a question. You come down and Murray.
Okay. As far as signing the petition, is it one vote per unit, or is it every eligible voter in the district?
As long as you and your wife, or a significant other in this community, is a voter in the sewer district, you can vote sign.
Okay, so how are they going to monitor the two?
They have a list of who's in our sewer district.
Okay.
Again, I'll have these outside, okay? And it's in the interest of
whether the county should take it over or not. It's not about the HOA. And it's in our interest because it keeps the rates reduced for, until next November.
Who's next? Bob?
Yeah, I'd like to make a couple of comments about the STP and what Nassau County did. Nassau County privatized their sewage treatment environment, the sewage treatment plants, the pipelines, everything else, because they're running into budget problems. Public-private partnerships are happening around the country, highways, toll roads. As governments, local governments run into budget problems, they privatize. So it's not beyond reason that that could happen to Suffolk County at some point. The budget's always stressed in Suffolk County. The other comment I wanted to make, Nassau County privatized or sold their whole sewage treatment system to United Water, which is a subsidiary of Suez Environment, a French company. It's a French company for profit. So who knows what's going to happen down the road, but you got a French company who's going to be billing the Nassau County residents for using the sewage treatment system. It could happen to us in Suffolk County as well. That's the point I want to make. The other point I should make, one gentleman was worried about some problems with stormwater and sewage and so forth. Our system is separate. Stormwater goes one way, sewage goes another way. New York City for years, I don't know if it's changed, when I worked for Bureau of Water Pollution Control some 45 years ago, New York City's stormwater and sewage commingled. So every time you had a storm, they dumped all of the commingled sewage and stormwater into the Hudson River, the East River, and so forth. That may have changed over the years. They may have reduced that. But you can imagine the difference between the sewage that flows in New York City and what happens when you have a major storm. So these are just a couple of points I wanted to make.
Thank you, Bob.
Right now we have
George?
Steve, do you want to collect more than 100, or are you going to stop at 100? Because I think then maybe, if you want to get more, I think maybe we should have some kind of a committee to go around to all the homes and get more signatures.
To get as many as I can.
In other words, you're not stopping at 100.
Again, we just have to get the 100 to have a referendum in Carver.
You have to understand the system, George. Excuse me a minute. You have to understand. We have to have 100 qualified. If certain people will be disqualified,
Then you got to get
we
more.
have to get enough.
Right. The other point is, you said you're going to get a notice out. I hope it's by snail mail rather than email about the sewer business.
I'm going to send it out by regular mail.
Okay,
I want
thank
everybody
you.
to get the letter, because we still have 200 people that do not use computers.
Right,
So I wanna
so
make
that
sure.
was my point. Okay.
I have a question about the shed area. First of all, who owns that property? I know the shed we won, but what about the property next to it?
The town,
Who owns it?
I believe the town owns it.
The property
No,
behind...
where our shed is.
Are you talking about the property behind the shed?
No, the property that the shed is sitting on right now.
Where the trailer is, or?
Where the trailer is.
There's 12, there's 2.12 acres.
And that is our property.
It's our property, but we...
Then I have another question. Why are there garbage units sitting on that property? Do you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's the dumpsters that are sitting there. There's little bobcats sitting there. There's other equipment always sitting there that makes that whole area look
You mean
disgusting.
from the snow removal?
And I think, well, now they have it for the snow removal, but all year, I mean, I know
You're right exactly on what you're saying, and it's gonna come to a head pretty soon.
Yeah, because I want to see what's happening there.
Because the results of this lawsuit, there were many stays that were issued, and we couldn't act upon it. Now that it's been finalized, we'll be having a meeting, it'll be coming to a head soon.
But could we get all that garbage out of there while we're waiting to deal with the shed?
Not waiting until we deal with it,
Norman,
it's all part of the
right
same.
now,
They have
we,
the local
for all
16.
intents and purposes, we own the property. However, he is supposed to transfer the property to us by deed. He hasn't done that yet. He has a deadline for doing that. He has a deadline for removing his stuff from the property. He hasn't done that yet. So right now, it's kind of in limbo. Yes, according to the court, we own the property, but we don't have a deed yet.
That's what I'm saying, the town basically still owns it, even though we...
Right.
there's also no CO on that shed, and there's no CO on our trailer, so our trailer has to go.
Okay,
Not
and
necessarily.
can we get a CO for our trailer? I mean, that makes sense, I understand
This
the
is
shed.
all, we have to wait and see what happens on April 6th.
So I know where this man is coming from, he lives right across the street from that.
Exactly.
And I would hate to look at that.
And I look at it every day out
Every
my
day,
window.
exactly. And not only that, there's 3 500-pound propane cylinders on the side of that unit.
I know that,
and-
we don't
and
see
you
it
know-
that much, but I know it's there. Okay, most of that stuff got blocked by trees. Joe Perry put up other trees by the parking lot. I think something has to be done inside that parking lot, repaved or something.
If we've waited this long, let's see what happens on April 6th.
Well, I've always been for bikes and sheds where somebody can put their bikes, they don't have to bring them up and down the stairs.
They have the sheds there, they're fine.
By Joe putting those up, and they're very nice, and I thank you, he has broken the open sky space rule, because that's how he won the shed case. By putting that shed up, it came below 30 acres of open sky, and by putting the bicycle sheds up, that also brought it down more. But the shed will be gone, so the bicycle sheds will be fine.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next. Anybody else? All right, oh. Go ahead. Just talk into it.
Hello?
That's it.
Okay. This is off the cuff. As far as the golf course goes, if you live at the greens, you're not allowed to golf at the golf course, even if you're willing to pay. But yet you can bring a guest in, a member can bring a guest in, they pay, they can go. Can you do something about that?
No. We don't know, we have nothing to do, that's the rules.
Sammy, you gotta be a member of the golf.
You have to be a member of the golf club to play here. Bring in a guest, but you have to be a member. And if you're a resident that's not a member, you can't play in the course.
And one other thing with that shed, he uses that road, Altesa, to get to the golf course. He doesn't pay for maintenance of the roads, he doesn't pay for any insurance, and he doesn't pay for cleaning the snow off of the road.
But he also has an easement. Now, since we have, I thought it was very successful, and I appreciate everybody coming because there's a lot of good questions. We could do this on a regular basis, so that's up to you. If you want to do this every month, every 2 months, so we can do this, because I think it's a way of communicating, and the board feels it's a way of communicating with the community. So that's up to you. So let's show of hands. You want us to, can you try to do this? Okay, very good.
I personally think we should open HOA meetings.
I don't think you want that, Jeff. Thank you very much for coming again. Have a happy and healthy New Year.